Right friends, welcome back to questions and answers for 25th week from 20th June to 26th June. Look at the first question. We celebrated World Refugee Day on June 20, and here one important point is the displaced persons across the world reached a record high of 65 million. Around 6.5 crore people are displaced from their homes. This is as per the report given by United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. And in India, 32,000 Bru tribals are staying in refugee camps in Tripura since 1997. And the question here is, these Bru tribals are migrated from Mizoram in the year 1997, and for the past 19 years they are staying in Tripura. There is no solution till date, and 32,000 Bru tribals are staying in refugee camps in Tripura since 1997. Look at the next one. Yulin Dog Meat Festival is being held every year in China, and majority of Chinese now called for an end to this practice, and every year around 10,000 dogs are being killed and eaten, and worldwide there are several protests in this regard. Famous film director Paul Cox died recently. He belongs to Australia. Lonely Hearts, Force of Destiny. These are some of the films by Paul Cox. During the second International Yoga Day celebrations on June 21, Prime Minister joined celebrations in Chandigarh, the Union Territory of Chandigarh. The Prime Minister joined the celebrations, and all of you are familiar with the International Day of Yoga. This was declared by the United Nations General Assembly in December 2014. For the first time, it was celebrated in 2015, and this is the second time. And the speciality of June 21, please don't forget, it is the longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere and shares a special significance in many parts of the world. Iran says that it finalized a deal to purchase 100 Boeing airlines. After the civil nuclear deal with Iran, now several foreign companies are queuing up to Iran for grabbing the business opportunities. And in this connection, a deal was finalized with Boeing Airlines, and Iran will purchase 100 Boeing aircrafts. And Boeing is a United States of America based airline maker, and if someone talks about Airbus, that is a Europe based airline maker. These two things please don't forget. India and South Korea launched a platform to promote and facilitate investments into India. The name of the program is Korea Plus. So the purpose of Korea Plus is to act as a platform to promote and facilitate investments into India. And the Prime Minister visited South Korea last year, and subsequently in this regard a memorandum of understanding was signed in January 2016. Please look into this slide. This is North Korea and South Korea, and both are at loggerheads. And the actions of North Korea, that means its missile program, its so-called testing of hydrogen bomb is creating panic across the world. Look into the next one. Which of the following allowed women fighter pilots for the first time? As I have already told you in the previous lectures, Indian Air Force for the first time allowed women in combat roles. And in 2015, government decided to allow women fighters on experimental basis for 5 years, and Indian women pilots were included in Indian Air Force for helicopters or transport aircrafts in 1991, but in fighting role, that is in combat role, this is for the first time 3 women pilots are inducted. Australia won the 2016 Champions Trophy by defeating India by 3-1 in penalty shootout, and I would like to tell you this is Australia's 14th victory, and Germany won 10 times. So the Champions Trophy, majority of victories are by Australia, and this was started in 1978 by Pakistan, and this is conducted by International Hockey Federation. You may ask the headquarters of International Hockey Federation. They are in Lausanne, Switzerland, and at the same time, please don't forget the headquarters of International Olympic Committee, that is also in Lausanne, Switzerland. And this time India got the silver medal, having lost to Australia in the penalty shootout, and the final was played at London. At Baku, Azerbaijan, Nico Rosberg has won the 2016 European Grand Prix of Formula 1. He belongs to Germany, and this is 19th championship overall in Formula 1 for Nico Rosberg. And when someone talks about Nico Rosberg and Sebastian Vettel, please don't forget these two Grand Prix players belong to Germany. Look into the next one. Government liberalized FDI norms in several sectors recently. And if you look at 2015-16, India recorded highest ever FDI at $55.46 billion. In the financial year 2015-16, India attracted record ever $55.46 billion of foreign direct investment. And if someone talks about which country is contributing to FDI in India, the maximum, that is Singapore. So Singapore is contributing maximum FDI to India. And if you look at maximum foreign portfolio investment, that is United States of America, which is contributing maximum in foreign portfolio investment. But if you look at foreign direct investment, Singapore is contributing maximum. And FDI is not allowed in atomic energy, lottery, gambling and railway operations. And the maximum FDI is in services. This also please don't forget. ISRO recently launched RLVTD. We discussed in detail in S&T recently about this reusable launch vehicle technology demonstrator, and it was built by VSSC. VSSC is Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, and its former name was Tumba Equatorial Rocket Launching Station. And the main focus of Vikram Sarabhai Space Center at Thiruvananthapuram is on design of rockets and space vehicles for India's satellite programs. Look into the next one, fund of funds for startups. Basically, so as to act as a mechanism for funding the startups. This fund of funds for startups was approved by Union Cabinet, and government's support will be rupees 10,000 crore, and this will be operated by SIDBI, Small Industries Development Bank of India. This is the development finance institution looking at the development of MSMEs headquartered in Lucknow, and SIDBI will be used as a nodal authority for fund of funds for startups. Basically, these fund of funds for startups will be contributed in various alternative investment funds. So, this fund of funds for startups will not directly fund the startups. They will fund to various alternative investment funds. Because of the reason, various alternative investment funds like angel investments, venture capital and private equity will have the required expertise in deciding the startups for investments. So here this fund of funds for startups will be operated by SIDBI. Please don't forget. Government approved special package for textiles and apparels sector, and it is expected to lead to cumulative increase in exports to the tune of $30 billion during the next 3 years. So, as per the government's special package, which was recently announced for textiles and apparel sector, during the next 3 years, it's going to be a cumulative increase of exports to the tune of $30 billion. And at the same time, it is also expected that investments of rupees 74,000 crores will also flow in during the next 3 years. Union Cabinet recently approved extending the deadline of UDAY. You may ask, what is UDAY? Ujjwal Discom Assurance Yojana is UDAY. Governments, that is the state governments, will take over 75% of the debt of Discoms. basically to improve the health of discoms, that is power distribution companies, and the central government extended the deadline for Uday till 31st March 2017. Look into the next one. ISRO launched 20 satellites in single mission. This is the record ever for ISRO. And if you look at the worldwide launches, Russia holds the record with 37 satellites. Please don't forget. And for ISRO, this is the record. And the previous highest record was 10 satellites by ISRO in 2008. And you may ask the bifurcation of these 20 satellites. These 20 satellites can be bifurcated as 13 from United States of America, 2 from Canada, 1 from Germany, 1 from Indonesia. And if you look at the remaining 3 satellites, they are from India. One is for remote sensing, Cartosat 2, one by Satyabhama University, Chennai, that is Satyabhama Sat. And the next one is Swayam, that is by College of Engineering, Pune. Look into the next one, Sunway Taihu Light. This became the world's most powerful supercomputer for the 6th consecutive time. It is developed by China, and this is installed at the National Supercomputing Center in Wuxi near Shanghai, and it can perform 93 quadrillion calculations per second. Quadrillion means 1000 trillion. So 93 petaflops or 93,000 trillion calculations per second, and it is almost 3 times as fast as the previous record holder, that is around 34 petaflops by Tianhe 2. And this supercomputer will be used for big data analytics, advanced manufacturing and weather forecasting. And look into the next one, Union government banned the use of cancer causing chemical Potassium Bromate as a food additive. And recently, CSE report indicated more than 80% of the bread samples consist of Potassium Bromate. And subsequently, FSSAI recommended for banning this chemical Potassium Bromate. The previous limit was 50 parts per million, and the reports indicate they are well within limit of 50 ppm, but several countries banned this chemical, citing it is carcinogenic. And finally, Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, which is the food regulator under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, recommended for banning this chemical, and government accepted the recommendation. So Union government banned the use of Potassium Bromate as a food additive, and food regulator is FSSAI, please don't forget. Tithi has won the Best Film and Best Scriptwriter Award under the Asia New Talent Awards category. And please don't forget, this also won the Best Feature Film in Kannada during the 63rd National Film Awards. And this is the film written and directed by Ram Reddy. And at 19th Shanghai International Film Festival, it won 2 awards under Asia New Talent Awards category. And this is the film in Kannada language. As per UNCTAD, you may ask, what is UNCTAD? UNCTAD is United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, and its headquarters is in Geneva, Switzerland, and it releases a World Investment Report every year. It releases a World Investment Report. Basically, it tracks capital flows. It tracks the flow of foreign direct investment from one country to other country. The organization is United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, and as per UNCTAD report of 2016, India ranks 10th in FDI inflows. And if you look at the calendar year 2015, that means from January 1 to December 31, 2015, India's FDI flows were $44 billion in comparison to $35 billion in 2014. And our figures of $55.46 billion are for financial year 2015-16, and don't confuse with those figures. And the figures released by UNCTAD sometimes may differ with the figures released by our own estimates. And top 5 FDI destinations: United States of America, Hong Kong, China, Ireland and Netherlands. So the topmost FDI destination is United States of America. And other points I would like to tell you, the world's largest exporter is China. World's largest importer is United States of America. These things please don't forget. At the same time, world's largest FDI destination is United States of America. And if someone talks about World Investment Report, that is released by United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. Name the state government which granted minority status to Jews. The state government is Maharashtra. This became the second state in the country after West Bengal, and as per 2001 census, there are around 4,600 Jews, out of which around 60% are situated in Maharashtra only. Prime Minister, when he visited Tashkent, Tashkent is capital city of Uzbekistan, and Prime Minister paid tributes at the bust of the former Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri, and Lal Bahadur Shastri died at Tashkent in 1966. Look into the next one. Shiv Thapa, Manoj Kumar and Vikas Krishan have qualified for 2016 Rio de Janeiro Olympics. And these three players we are talking about belongs to boxing, and qualifying rounds for participation in Rio de Janeiro Olympics were held in Baku, Azerbaijan. Please don't forget. Union government launched a pilot program to run two-wheelers on compressed natural gas, and this pilot program was held in Delhi. This is the joint initiative of Indraprastha Gas Limited and Gas Authority of India Limited, and it was launched on experimental basis. And if you look at the emissions, they emit 75% less hydrocarbons and 20% less carbon monoxide if you use compressed natural gas in comparison to the emissions by two-wheelers with the petrol. Right friends, look into the next one. Quizmaster, former Lok Sabha member Neil O'Brien passed away, and he was from West Bengal. He was one of the reputed quizmasters in the country, and he died at Kolkata at the age of 82, and he was the father of present Trinamool Congress MP Derek O'Brien. Day of the Seafarers was observed on June 25 and first celebrated in 2011. Theme for 2016 is At Sea for All, and it is basically to recognize the invaluable contribution of seafarers in international trade and world economy. The modern day seafarers face several problems, including piracy. Piracy, that means the theft when ships are traveling from one place to other place, is quite common near the African coast. In Indian Ocean, please look into this slide. This is African coast towards Indian Ocean, and this area is prone for piracy. Sprinter Duty Chand qualified for 2016 Rio de Janeiro Olympics, and PT Usha qualified for the event in 1980, and now Duty Chand qualified, and she clocked 11.3 seconds in 100-meter event in the qualifying rounds. Look into the next one. ISRO and NASA, these are working together to develop a synthetic aperture radar satellite. What is the main purpose? The main purpose is to observe and measure ecosystem disturbances, ice sheet collapses and natural hazards. Basically, it generates high resolution remote sensing images. Look into the next one. Who is going to design app for Swayam project of Human Resource Development Ministry? You may ask, what is meant by Swayam? Swayam is basically the program of around 2000 massive open online courses. So education will come to the digital platform, and Swayam stands for Study Webs of Active Learning for Young Aspiring Minds. And Microsoft will be running the app for 3 years, and subsequently it will be taken over by All India Council for Technical Education or AICTE. So if someone talks about Swayam, that is study webs of active learning for young aspiring minds, and this is going to be the initiative of Microsoft as far as web application is concerned. Name the country which recognized India as a major defense partner. This is important development as India is declared as major defense partner by United States of America. Now India can gain access to 99% of America's latest defense technologies. That is the biggest advantage for India. World Bank reduced the global growth forecast to 2.4% in 2016 and 2.8% in 2017. The previous forecast was 2.9% for 2016 and 3.1% for 2017. It reduced the global forecast because several countries are not growing on the expected lines, especially the advanced economies across the world. Hubble telescope spots a solitary dwarf galaxy. All of you are familiar with the Milky Way galaxy, where we are staying or where we are part of it. Similarly, some dwarf galaxy UGC 4879 was spotted by Hubble telescope. Hubble telescope is the telescope established in space. Why a telescope is established in space? Because by establishing a telescope in space, atmospheric disturbances can be minimized. So you will get crystal clear images. And Hubble is the space telescope and a joint initiative of NASA with the European Space Agency. Please don't forget. Justice Rakesh Ranjan Prasad has taken charge as the Chief Justice of Manipur High Court. Look into the next one. Peter Thompson was elected as the President of the 71st session of UN General Assembly. And what is the role of the President of UN General Assembly? He presides over the meetings of United Nations General Assembly. And Peter Thompson belongs to Fiji, and the outgoing President is Liketoft of Denmark. Look into the next one. Union Cabinet approved proposal for enhancement of retirement age of Central Health Service doctors from 62 years to 65 years. Name the country which was elected as the chair of United Nations General Assembly's legal committee for the first time. Israel, and it is opposed by several countries including Iran. And what is the basic purpose of this United Nations General Assembly's legal committee? The main task include measures to eliminate international terrorism, that is one aspect, and at the same time to ensure rule of law at the national and international levels. And Israel for this chair is not acceptable to several Arab countries. Anne Hathaway was appointed as the United Nations Women Goodwill Ambassador. And all of you are familiar with the United Nations organization. United Nations Women is one organization that is basically striving for gender equality and the empowerment of women. And now Anne Hathaway, famous Hollywood actress from United States of America, will be United Nations Women Goodwill Ambassador. Sunil Mittal, Chairman and Group CEO of Bharti Enterprises. All of you are familiar with Airtel Mobile. He is the Group CEO of Bharti Enterprises, and he was elected as the Chairman of International Chamber of Commerce. And International Chamber of Commerce is basically representing world business organizations and is headquartered in Paris, France. And Mittal is the third Indian business leader to hold this position in around 100 years of International Chamber of Commerce history. Look into the next one. Official slogan for 2016 Rio de Janeiro Olympics is a new world. And please don't forget, International Olympic Committee is headquartered in Lausanne, Switzerland, and Thomas Bach is the President of International Olympic Committee. And the slogan for 2016 Rio Olympic Games is a new world. Scientists detected gravitational waves for the second time. We discussed in detail in S&T sometime back with regard to LIGO experiments, and I in LIGO stands for interferometer. LIGO means the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory. Two observatories at around 3000 kilometers apart in the United States of America detected gravitational waves for the second time because of the collision of black holes. Right friends, with this let us conclude questions and answers. Have a nice day. Thank you.